Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Chelsea, and today I'm bringing you another SPFBO9 Finalist review. As you would have seen from the thumbnail and the title, today's review is all about Hills of Heather and Bone by K.E. Andrews. As usual, we're gonna start with the description of the book and then we'll go into my thoughts and feelings and the whole, you would like this book if you like such and such, because that seems to be the way I'm playing these videos, and I hope you're enjoying them and you're finding them as descriptive as possible, because this is not my thing. But I'm trying. So Hills of Heather and Bone, we are following one character as in our main perspective, and her name is Morana and we are in her head. We are following her through pretty much everyday life. So Morana is a bone weaver. Now in this world, people are blood gifted and you can have a range of different blood gifts, from root sower where you make plants grow, earth carver where you move the ground, flame, I can't remember the name of the flame one, but obviously you can conjure flames and burn things, funnily enough. And as I said, Morana is a bone weaver. Now a bone weaver can actually hear stories from those that are dead from their bones, which I think is a really interesting concept actually. But despite the really cool concept, unfortunately in this world bone weavers are actually seen as evil and they are hunted by their police force known as Felinis? I hope I'm saying that right. Now, at the beginning of this book, we are watching Morana and her husband Percy, who is a root sower and a flesh mender, kind of like a healer and also a grower. He has got dual gifts, which is kind of rare. We're watching them go about their everyday life, and one day the Felinis come to their door, and this causes them to make a run for it. So from there on, we are following Morana and Percy as they try to find their next sanctuary and as they try to find somewhere, you know, safe to just be themselves. So this book, personal review, things I liked. I really liked the idea of the magic system. I loved the idea of being blood gifted. There seems to be a wide range of blood gifts readily available within this world, and we hear about a few of them. Some of them in passing, some of them we get a bit more background on, which is fantastic, and I did enjoy that. However, I didn't feel like this was fleshed out enough for me personally. Now, this could be the start of a series. The way this book ended kind of gives me that feeling that it is going to carry on into something else, which would be great. I'm not sure if it's going to be something that I would carry on to pick up, but the idea that this magic system will be fleshed out more is a really good sell for me, if I'm honest. I didn't find this book, you know, terribly bad or terribly good. Like, I was kind of in the middle with this one, as I have been for a few of them. And that's purely because I felt as though, although once the Felinis turn up and Morana and Percy end up running away and going on their travels to find somewhere else, there was no real plot, no real point that they were going on, and that doesn't work for me. I'm a very plot-driven reader. I think if you like characters and seeing growing relationships and stuff, that might be more for you. But for me, the fact that it was almost just like a travelling book, and then we stop in certain areas and we meet other characters and we build small relationships with them and then we move on, to me that wasn't the best. That's just my personal opinion. But the writing in this is beautiful. It is really well written. I think Morana and Percy are really fleshed out characters, and the idea that we are hinted at with the history for bone weavers and that kind of bad omen, bad reputation is really heavily sewn within this book, which I did enjoy. You really do get the feeling that bone weavers are bad and wrong, and Morana just wants to live safely and happily. She doesn't want to hurt anyone. Her gift doesn't actually make her hurt anyone. Just the idea of, like, she can raise the dead, she can reanimate the dead, basically, is what she does. And there are hints within this book that previously, well before the time of which we're currently in, Bone Weavers were more sacred. They gave peace and closure to those who lost loved ones, because every blood gift has a price. So when Morana raises the dead or does anything, her price is that she has to write their stories. Some people's price is that they have to draw them, or many other things, but there's a small price of which people have to pay to use their blood gift. Now that is so interesting to me, and I would have loved to find out more about that. I would have loved to hear how that affects different blood gifts, but unfortunately in this book we don't. And my overall thoughts for this book is that it just needed a little bit more plot and direction, and it just needed like more fleshing out in the sense of the magic system and the world. We kind of get a rough idea about the world because majority of this book is just Morana and Percy travelling. It does sound as though it is mainly based somewhere similar to the UK as they travel from where they were living and then they go up to the Highlands. There is dialect written within this book, which is quite interesting. So there are things like that fleshed out, and we do get more hints and flashbacks to Morana's past, how her and Percy met, how she left her family and how she came to be by herself, and basically all of the points of her life that which make up to where she is now. But I just wanted more. I wanted more of the magic. I wanted to understand that more. I feel like this would be such a good idea in like a school setting. Probably because I am such a big reader for, I love like the academia vibes, magic school idea. I think that would really help like flesh out and understand the world and the different blood gifts that you can get, because pretty much it sounds like it's endless. You could do so much with it, which I just didn't feel like I necessarily got from this book. But if you are a reader that likes more character driven than plot driven stories, I think you'll enjoy this. One of the comments made by my team was that someone within our group really enjoyed the vibes of this book, just like the travelling, no plot, no hurry kind of thing. Obviously they are being hunted, but it doesn't always feel like that. I think you'll also like this book if you like seeing side characters that are really sassy, especially ones that don't talk. The chicken in this book has so much personality. Like, the chicken has more personality in some cases than some of the other side characters, which is crazy when you think about it. But if you've read this book, you'll understand. And I think you'll like this book if you like low action but almost high fantasy-esque books, in the sense of there are no real fights for majority of this book. There is some action at the end, but it's very short, very brief, not very packed out. So if you don't really like action, fighting, battles, then I think you'll like this, especially if you like magic systems but that aren't necessarily like thrown in your face, really complex, because this magic system isn't difficult to understand. It is more so the fact that for me it wasn't fleshed out enough, probably because I do like a complex magic system, and you don't fully like have to understand the rules and the whys and the hows for this book, but it's still enjoyable. And the main character, she is likeable, I will say. I just didn't particularly gel with her, but I think that's just a me thing. But overall, this book is enjoyable. I would recommend it. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of the finalists for SPFBO9. We have another review coming this month, then I believe it's 2 more in March and 1 in April, so I better get reading. So that is everything for today's review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, really supports me and my channel. Leave me a comment down below if you have read this book or if it is something you are interested in. If you just want to leave me any emojis, leave me any like purple emojis, because that is the colour of the cover. And if you want to see more of me, please consider subscribing down below and ringing that notification bell to get notified every single time I upload new videos. I usually upload every Monday and Thursday, so be sure to stick around for more bookish content from me. But otherwise, that is everything for today's video. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.